What if the man you trusted with everything just dropped a bomb on national TV? Because that's exactly what just happened. Mendeecees Harris. Yes, that Mendeecees was caught on camera admitting the unthinkable. The man who stood tall beside Yandhi through thick and thin now has the internet in flames after a leaked clip shows him straight up saying, "I did sleep with her, but that ain't my kid." Wait, what? The confession? Messy, the timing? Suspicious, the damage? Catastrophic? Is this a moment of raw honesty, or a desperate attempt to cover his tracks? And who's the her? Oh, you already know it's Erica Mena, the woman fans say brought nothing but chaos and curveballs into their lives. And now, the receipts are out. DNA results, side eyes, Instagram, shade, it's all spilling fast, so buckle up, because this isn't just a love triangle. It's a public meltdown caught in 4K. And nobody is walking away clean. Mendeecees finally spoke. But did he confess the truth? Or create a bigger lie? Let's get into it, and trust. This tea's boiling. It was supposed to be just another boring day on set. Lights, cameras, maybe a little cast drama to spice things up. But what no one saw coming was the moment that would blow up every timeline, every group chat, every fan forum on the internet. Mendeecees Harris, the man once praised for being the solid rock beside Yandhi Smith, just shattered his image in seconds. The footage leaked, not even posted officially. Someone, and you know it had to be someone from inside, dropped a grainy 15-second clip. Mendeecees, sitting alone in a dimly lit room, eyes low, voice calm, drops the words nobody was ready for. "I did sleep with her, but that ain't my kid." Double quotes. Boom. Those 9 words hit harder than any reunion special. In fact, they hit like a brick through a reality TV screen. The herper. Of course, it was Erica Mena, Yandhi's longtime frenemy and chaos incarnate. The same woman fans have accused of stirring the pot every time the ratings dipped. But now, she wasn't stirring tea. She was dropping bodies, and Mendeecees, he just handed her the weapon. The internet went feral. Clips of the video hit Twitter, TikTok, Instagram within minutes. Memes flew. Fan pages crashed. Everyone had a take, but no one had the full picture. Because this wasn't just a man cheating. This was a man admitting on camera that he might have wrecked his family, his reputation, and his marriage in one brutal sentence. And Yandhi crickets. Not a tweet, not a post, just silence. The kind that screams louder than words. But let's rewind for a second. Because this didn't just happen out of nowhere. This wasn't some random leak. Oh no, this has been brewing for months. Insiders say the tension between Yandhi and Erica started boiling long before the cameras started rolling. Offset, off-script, and way too real. But the real kicker. Erica allegedly walked into production, one day, uninvited, unannounced, and dropped a sealed envelope on the producer's desk. DNA results. She said nothing, just left it there. Then she walked out like she was dropping off a lunch order. Cold, calculated, savage. The staff thought it was a stunt at first. Another one of Erica's infamous TV moments. But then, as if on cue, Mendeecees stopped, responding to calls. Disappeared from set. Yandhi showed up but refused to film. Something was off. Producers panicked. This wasn't just a storyline, this was real life burning down in front of them, so what did they do? They cornered him. No cameras, no lights, just Mendeecees, one mic, and a nervous producer who definitely wasn't ready for what came next. And that's where it happened. The confession. He sat down, head low, voice steady, and said, "I need to get something off my chest." Then he dropped it. No emotion, no fluff, just the raw truth. "I did sleep with her, but that ain't my kid." Allegedly, he even added that Erica had been bitter, that she wanted to hurt yet, and that the timeline didn't make sense. But all anyone remembers is the core message. He admitted to crossing that line, and then, he vanished again, but the tape didn't. Because somehow, it leaked. And that's when everything exploded. Now let's talk Yandhi for a second. Because this woman has stood by Mendeecees through everything. Jail time. Family drama. Public shade. She fought for this man like her life depended on it, so imagine finding out, not through a conversation, not through an apology, but through a leaked video on the internet, that the man you love might have fathered a child with your enemy. Imagine the humiliation. Sources say Yandhi locked herself in her trailer for hours. No glam, no filming, just her phone, refreshing her feed, watching the world learn her business before she could even process it. And it wasn't just the cheating, it was the lie. That ain't my kid. A denial so loud it echoed across every fan page, every Reddit thread, every tabloid headline. But here's the twist. Erica never denied the DNA. In fact, she posted something so cryptic, so cold, it made the situation 10x messier. The truth doesn't scream, it whispers. And eventually it shows up with receipts. Girl, if that's not a power move, we don't know what is. And let's not forget the production panic. You think this mess helps a reality show, kinda, but it also threatens everything. Contracts, shooting schedules, cast safety, trust. Insiders said producers started running damage control immediately. Meetings, calls, even threats of legal action, because if that video got out, what else might leak? The network wanted answers. The fans wanted blood. And the cast, they wanted out. But Erica wasn't finished. She showed up again, this time to a dinner shoot where she wasn't even invited, wearing a white dress, looking unbuttered, walking straight to the table like she owned the set. Yandi was there. You could cut the tension with a knife. And guess what? She didn't say a word. Not until Erica sat down and smiled across the table like they were old friends. That's when Yandi calm but deadly dropped the line that sent shockwaves. She doesn't need champagne. She needs to tell the truth. Hugh security leaned in. Producers whispered in their headsets. And Erica, she just sipped her water and said, I already did. It's not my fault if some people can't handle it. Game set. Match. That dinner scene, which, by the way, wasn't even supposed to air, turned into a full-on showdown. Yandi stood up. Erica stood her ground. No punches, no chairs, but words. They cut deep, and somewhere in the middle of that chaos, the fans were left with one question. Is Mendeecees telling the truth, or just trying to save face? Because that one sentence, I did sleep with her, but that ain't my kid. It doesn't erase what happened. It doesn't Yandi's heart, and it definitely doesn't undo the damage Erica just unleashed on national TV. The air was thick. That dinner shoot, it wasn't dinner anymore. It was a war zone, disguised by candlelight and napkins. Yandi had stood up, dead silent, eyes locked, on Erica like she was looking at a ghost. The rest of the cast sat frozen. Not one dared interrupt. Not when you could literally feel the betrayal crawling off the table and into every camera lens in the room. You could have told me before you told the world, Yandi said, voice calm, but you could hear it cracking under the weight. I tried, Erica replied, her tone colder than winter in Harlem. You weren't listening. Boom, that was it. The shouting began. Every buried feeling, every passive-aggressive side-eye from the last season, unleashed in real time. And guess who wasn't there? Mendeecees, the man at the center of the chaos, was nowhere to be found. Rumors swirled that he had been spotted leaving the set that morning, ducked under a hoodie, refusing to speak to production. He knew the storm was coming and dipped before the thunder hit. Back inside the studio, producers scrambled to shut down the scene. Security stepped in. Cast members backed away. But the cameras, they kept rolling. Because this wasn't just a fight anymore. This was history. This was betrayal. This was ratings gold. Later that night, behind closed doors, the fallout began to settle. Or so people thought. Yandi was a wreck. According to one makeup artist, she cried for nearly an hour in her trailer. Not the loud, dramatic sobs you'd expect, no, the kind that come from betrayal so personal it doesn't even make noise. Just quiet devastation. She said to one assistant, I built everything around him. And he gave me silence in return. But even in pain, Yandi wasn't about to be painted as the weak one. Nope. The next morning, she marched into production, eyes swollen, heart shattered, and said, set up the interview, but I'm doing it my way. The producers didn't argue. She had earned that right. They gave her the same chair Erica had used. Same lighting, same camera angle, but nothing about it felt the same. Yandi sat down. No makeup, no glam team, just her and the truth. The air in the control room. Dead silent. I gave everything to this man, she started, voice steady. And now I'm finding out about this the same way y'all did on the internet. She didn't yell, she didn't cry, she just delivered. I had my doubts. I saw the signs. But never in a million years did I think he'd betray me with her. She didn't say Erica's name once. But she didn't have to. Everyone knew. She paused for a moment, stared dead into the lens, and said, I don't even know if the child is his. I don't know what's real anymore. But what I do know is that I deserved better than this circus. And when she said circus, Hugh, that one word carried fire. Because that's exactly what this was now. A public spectacle of heartbreak, lies, and shattered loyalty. Meanwhile, Erica, unbothered. She showed up to set the next day looking like a fashion editorial, flawless curls, leather trench, iced-out bracelet shining under studio lights. And the minute she walked in, she said, "I'm ready for my solo." Producers didn't even need to ask what that meant. She walked into the confessional set like it was her show. Sat down, and laid it all out. "I never wanted this to come out like this," she said, smoothing her dress. "But when you've carried a secret this long, it starts to carry you." She pulled out the envelope with the DNA results, not flashing it, not waving it around, just holding it. He asked for this, he needed to know, and when he got the answer, he still said he wasn't ready to tell her. She looked straight at the camera and said, "So I did, and I'm not sorry, Mike." Erica said she wasn't trying to steal anyone's man. Wasn't trying to blow up a marriage, but she was trying to protect her child. "Y'all think this is about love and hip-hop. It's about a baby, and that baby deserves the truth, no matter how ugly it is." Her voice cracked. Not enough to cry, but just enough to let us know the real emotions were bubbling just beneath the surface. But here's the plot twist no one was ready for. Mendeecees called the producers. Yep, the man of the hour. The one who ghosted the minute it got messy, wanted to talk. Alone, on camera. At first the team was skeptical. Was he trying to spin it? Control the narrative? But let's be real, they weren't going to say no. Not now, so they set up the same room, the same chair, the same cold lights. This time, Mendeecees walked in with no hoodie, no smile, no entourage, just him. And when the red light blinked on, he started talking. "I've been quiet because I didn't know what to say," he admitted. "I thought if I waited long enough, it would blow over." But that only made it worse. His voice, shaky. His face, tired, like a man who hadn't slept in weeks. "I did mess up," he said, finally. "I did cross that line. And for a long time, I told myself it wasn't a big deal because it was just once, but once is all it takes." He looked at the camera like he was staring into Yandy's eyes. "I should have told her. I should have been a man and owned what I did. But I was scared. Scared of losing my family. Scared of losing her." He paused. "I told Erica I'd handle it. I told her to wait, and she did. Until she didn't. And then came the moment that shattered the set. I saw the test results. I didn't believe them, so I took another one, quietly, behind everyone's back. Just to be sure. Everyone froze. Another test. Not even producers knew there was a second one. It came back the same." Mendeecees said, voice breaking. "That child is mine." You could hear a pin drop. "That child is mine." Those 4 words hit like a wrecking ball. And not the slow, dramatic kind. We're talking full speed. No warning, rip the roof off the house kind of wreckage. The crew behind the camera, speechless. The producers, frozen. Even the editor watching from the booth had to take off his headphones for a second just to breathe. Mendeecees had admitted it. On camera, no spin, no denial, no slick excuse. He sat back in that chair like the air had been sucked out of him. "I messed up," he said again, this time quieter. "I didn't just lie to Yandy, I lied to myself." He said the worst part wasn't the cheating, it wasn't even the child, it was the silence. "I let Erica carry this on her own. I let Yandy find out with the rest of the world. And I told myself that was better than facing what I did." His eyes, once sharp and confident, looked almost hollow. "I wasn't trying to live a double life. I was just trying to keep the one I had from falling apart. But all I did was break it faster." The camera kept rolling. He didn't cry, he didn't beg, he just told the truth, and sometimes, the truth hurts more than the lie ever did. Back in the production office, nobody knew what to do. Erica's raw confession was already edited. Yandy's tear-stained interview was sitting on a hard drive, and now this. It wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was a saga. Social media exploded the moment the leak dropped. Fans had been speculating, for weeks. But now there it was. Mendeecees' voice, his face, his full-blown, unfiltered truth. Clips went viral in minutes. "I did sleep with her. That ain't my kid. Wait, it is. I took a second test." One user tweeted, "Bro played DNA roulette and lost twice." Another wrote, "Yandy should have left him at test 1. Instagram, on fire. TikTok, flooded with edits, reactions, and mashups set to dramatic music. And YouTube, Let's just say reaction videos were already crossing the million view mark. But the person everyone was watching the most, Yandi, she had gone dark. No posts, no statements, no cryptic quotes. Just silence. The same silence Mendeecees had once used as a shield was now Yandi's weapon, until the production team got a message. She's coming back. No fanfare, no drama. She just walked in, hoodie over her head, sneakers on, eyes unreadable. And this time, she didn't go to her trailer. She walked straight into the confessional room. Same setup, same camera, same chair. Different woman. I saw the clip. She began. I heard everything. She stared into the camera like it was Mendeecees himself. You say you were scared. You say you didn't want to lose your family. But what you did was already the loss. She paused. You think the lie hurts? Nah, it's the delay. It's the waiting. It's the insult of hearing the truth after the rest of the world already has. She said she wasn't angry that he messed up. She was angry that he let her defend him, stand beside him, ride for him, all while he was sitting on the truth. You watched me cry and still said nothing. Then came the twist that made everyone backstage lean in. You want to know if we're done? She asked. No, we're not done. Gasps behind the camera. But, she continued, we're not done being married. We're not done being parents. But we are done pretending everything's perfect. She said she didn't know what the next step was, but she knew one thing. I'm not staying quiet. Not for you. Not for this show. And definitely not for the brand. That's when it shifted. This wasn't about damage control anymore. This was a woman reclaiming her narrative. The control room, cheering. Some even crying. It wasn't just reality TV anymore. This was reality, period. But, hold up, it gets messier. It gets messier. Erica watched the episode before it aired. And surprise, surprise, she had one more bombshell to drop. She texted the producers, give me one final word. Just one. She walked in 2 days later, no cameras, no full setup, just an iPhone and a single mic, and what did she say? You can call me the villain, that's fine, but don't forget who gave y'all the truth first. Then she stood up and left. No goodbye, no final shot, just that line. Like a dagger dipped in glitter, and now, here we are. The reunion is coming. The audience is buzzing. The internet is still processing what just happened. But behind all the glam and gossip, the heart of this saga is something way deeper. Truth, lies, timing, and the cost of silence. Yandi's broken, but not beaten. Mendeecees, exposed and exhausted. Erica, unbothered but complicated. And the child at the center of it all. Still waiting for a world that'll stop treating him like a headline. So here's the question for you. Was Mendeecees brave for finally owning it? Or just a coward who got cornered? Did Yandi handle it with class? Or should she have walked away for good? And Erica, was she protecting her truth? Or exploiting someone else's? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hold nothing back. This isn't the place for silence, it's the place for truth. Like this video if you think the second DNA test changed everything. Comment if you're on Team Yandi, Team Erica, or Team Nitrogen Monoxide 1, and don't forget to subscribe, because this was just one chapter. The next one might just burn the whole house down.